Baldur's Gate 3 is one of those games that doesn't quite tell you everything, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people appreciate about it. There's little hand-holding, and most of what you learn is from just playing the game and reading. Lots and lots of reading. In my 82 hours of experience, here are 10 more things I've learned along my journey that are sure to help you out in yours. Dip is stronger than you think. You may think that the dip bonus action is a somewhat useless one, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Taking two somewhat useless aspects about this game, you can be set for an endless supply of elemental damage, all at the cost of a bonus action. All you need is a candle in your inventory. Within one turn, you can place the candle on the ground, light it, and dip your weapon into the flame to now have elemental damage bonuses, all for the cost of the bonus action. Your weapon will stay ablaze for 3 turns, so really you're only giving up a minute portion of your moves for some brutal fire damage. Fast travel. You can fast travel from anywhere at any time. Now I imagine this may be a bit of an outdated tip by the time this video comes out, but for those who still don't know, you can open your map and fast travel to any waypoint at any time. I initially thought that you had to go to the waypoint to do this. Still, not to break immersion, you could definitely walk all the way to a waypoint before you fast travel. Withers. Withers is by far the best companion. Withers is a companion found in the first act, in the crypt on the east side of the map, just outside the Druid village. You need to navigate through the dungeon until you stumble upon a crypt. After fighting all the undead guards, the door will open. Enter Withers. Withers is a must to anyone brand new to BG3, and he'll allow you the opportunity to change your class for a measly 100 gold. This is an incredible utility since you may not enjoy the class you start out as, and it saves you from having to repeat the Nautiloid over and over again until you find something you really like. Beyond that, Withers can also afford you a companion of any class within the game. This will grant you companion classes that you won't find anywhere else in the game. After selecting one of his companions, you get to go through leveling them up to your current level. These companions only cost 100 gold to hire, and can be used to round out your team. Inventory management. So just like you would in an Excel document or editing software like Premiere, BG3 has built into it a really intuitive inventory management system. One really cool feature I found was to control-click multiple items, then drag them over to another character if yours is encumbered from looting everything in sight. In addition to that, you can shift-click one item, then shift-click another, and it'll highlight all items in between the two to bulk move out a lot of clumped-together junk. If you find yourself hoarding everything you find, this is the tip for you. Digging anywhere. Failing a perception check on a dig site isn't the end of the world, especially if you know where it is. You can still manually dig with the shovel. This one's short and sweet. To engage in this, all you have to do is select use on the shovel from your inventory, then tell your character where you want them to dig. If you miss the spot or there's nothing to dig, they'll give you a short dialogue letting you know. However, hit the spot and you'll be swimming in loot. Hotbar management. Isn't it frustrating to always need to swap out consumable items on your hotbar? From potions to poison, it's a pain in the ass to open your inventory mid-battle. Instead of dealing with that headache, you can fill a pouch with all the items that you would regularly use and place the pouch on your hotbar, thus freeing up tons of space. An alternative to this would just be to add more bars to your hotbar by clicking the plus button in the bottom right corner. Interesting weapons. So you can equip certain foods as weapons, namely salami. Okay, this isn't really so much of a tip, but it's more of a funny addition to the game. I'm not sure the reason Larian decided to allow us to equip salami as a weapon and no other foods. It's not just silly, it's kinda genius. It feels like a statement saying something like, you really can do anything in this game, so make sure to explore every option. It's more of an Easter egg than anything, but thought I would share nonetheless. Haste. If you saw my last video, I covered the insanity of the unkillable barbarian with the aid of a specific spell, Haste. Haste can be cast on pretty much any class with a benefit for any of them, but honestly it should be cast on someone using melee attacks and is in the face of all the enemies. This is because not only does Haste grant an extra action, it also grants bonus movement speed and reduces the chance of them being hit. All around, this is an overpowered spell that any caster can pick up at level 5. Reading is fun. Some books and letters will grant you side quests or locations to treasure. To separate them from the rest, they're color-coded in orange. Another pretty straightforward tip here, there are multiple times I've picked up books or letters only to sell them off without ever reading them. Well, I might have missed out on some treasure or a valuable side quest. Not to say that every book will hold the key to either of these, but the ones marked with an orange border certainly will. An early game example of this is in the basement of the Blighted Village, where you'll find a journal that begins the quest Finish the Masterwork Weapon, which, after completion, awards you either a rare greatsword or dagger. Levers from a distance. You can shoot levers to switch them back and forth if you're out of reach. Now, Larian kinda just told us about this a few days ago to an overwhelming amount of people saying they didn't know this existed, so I figured I'd try to inform anyone else not familiar. Yes, you can shoot switches and levers with your arrows to switch them on and off. This can be useful if the switch is out of reach, or you're solving a puzzle where you're physically not able to move your character. Bonus tip, you can change your clothes out much easier if you just click the article slot you want to change out. There, you're given all your other options throughout your inventory, even including what your companions have equipped. I hope these tips help you in your adventures through Faerun, and let me know if you have any you'd like to add in the comments below. See y'all next time.